What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Garage Denali. So in this DIY, in this video, I want to show you guys how to properly bleed the cooling system on a BMW E46. So there's a lot of information out there, a lot of wrong information, and people just don't know how to bleed the system right because they just don't know, or they're doing it wrong, or for whatever reason. And the reason why I want to make this video is because these cars are very fragile, they're very old, they're very delicate, and you know, I want to present to people the proper way to do it so you get the most life out of your car, but also just you have it done the factory spec or as close to factory spec as possible. So basically what that is you want to mix 50-50 coolant with distilled water. You want to use the blue stuff. You want to raise the car up in the front like this. You know, I have mine at an angle a little bit here because it makes sure that this little valve here where the bleeder screw is, this is the highest point, so all the air escapes out. And you just keep filling coolant in the main opening here until nothing but solid liquid comes out of here. So we're going to waste a little bit of it, but we're going to catch it so it won't be too big of an issue. But this is how you make sure that the system is topped off. And basically you always want to make sure you check the level at 6 to 8 degrees Fahrenheit because it has to do with the molecules of the coolant, you know, expanding and contracting, and you want to make sure that you have the proper levels. So with that, let's get started. Alright, so an important step when bleeding your system is you want to turn the car on and get it to position 2, accessory mode, so the thermostat or the air conditioning turns on. Turn your heat all the way up and leave your fan speed all the way on low, because you want to open that heater core valve so you get coolant in there and you can bleed the system right. So heat all the way on max, fan speed on low, and now you just bleed the system. Alright, so once you have your 50-50 mix, you just start pouring and you just keep pouring. Now the dipstick is going to come up and the tank is going to eventually fill, but it fills to the brim, but you just keep adding fluid because, like I said, you want to get fluid out of that bleeder valve. So right now my tank is filling up, but if you just slow down, the whole system just digests all the fluid. And this is exactly what you want to do. So in a moment you're going to see it coming out of the little bleed screw valve, and this is the part where you just have to keep adding fluid until nothing but liquid comes out of that hole. So this process takes a while, but you want to do it right. So you can see right there all that air coming out, that's what you don't want. So you want to get it all out. Alright, so basically we were able to bleed the system right, so nothing but liquid has been coming out for a little bit. So what you do is you take your little cap. Okay, so basically nothing but liquid has been coming out of this hole now, so basically that means the system has been bled. So you just take your screw and you put it back on. Now what you want to do is you want to use like a turkey baster or something and just siphon out all the excess coolant so you get the level right between the two dots. Alright, so now what you do is you want to siphon out all this excess coolant because, again, you want to make sure the level is right where it should be. So you just pull all this out. Alright, so once you have extracted enough fluid, enough coolant, that the level is right between the dipstick, you're ready to put the cap on, start the car, let it warm up, and now you want to just check for leaks, make sure everything is seated right, nothing's leaking, and you warm it up, make sure you check the temperature needle, see if it idles right at the middle, or right at the dead center, because if it leans towards hot, that means you have air in the system, and you got to bleed the system again to get all the air out, because you don't want air in the system so you don't overheat. So with that, let's get it started. Alright, so after you made sure that your level was good, you topped it off, you bled the system, you removed some of the excess fluid so you got the level right between the two balls on the dipstick there. Start the car, warm it up, let it idle, and just check for leaks. So at this point you just want to look under here, check for any leaks, look under the hood, make sure everything is okay. You know, let it warm up. After you let it warm up, drive it around for a mile or two, a couple miles, and then park it. Let it cool down completely, and then check the level. Level should be good. You may have to add a little bit, that's okay, but you should be pretty close to the level that you were at before you started messing with the system, right before you turn the engine on. So with that, I hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you very much, and take care.